Welcome to the most Captain Obvious title for a trading indicator that I have ever seen in my career. Here it is, boys and girls, Trading Oscillator. Let us hope and pray that the person who coded this had a bit more creativity than this. This is like a title I would see from somebody who spoke almost no English. But I digress. Let's get into it. Now, if you're new, welcome. This is the premier indicator channel of all of YouTube. Always has been, always will be. But most people who are watching this have watched 150 to 200 videos of mine. They know how we do things. They know how we talk. So if you are not one of those people, you need to become one of those people before you start commenting and asking silly questions. Go to nononsenseforex.com. Read the first page. Watch the first video. Get caught up to us. It is worth it for the rest of us. Let's get into the specs for Trading Oscillator. The year is 2020, so pretty new. This is going to be a confirmation indicator, and when Dan and I get done with it, it is going to be a color change indicator. Now understand, almost all color changes out there were at some point either a zero cross or two lines cross or an overlay indicator, and this is going to be no exception, but for all intents and purposes this will fall into the color change category. And as far as exit indicators go, this could be something. I'm just not sure. It does optically line up to have that potential, so I think everybody out there should be testing this as an exit indicator. I just can't tell you if there's a better than average chance or not that it will work for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I have a couple different pictures. This is the first one. So it is kind of a goofy version of a two lines cross. This yellow line is the trigger line. And it's one of those things, I don't think you need it at all. Let's see if you agree with me. So we're just going to go ahead and take it away. And it's going to look like this. Now, unlike one of the indicators we previously spoke about, these gaps here don't have any actual candles in between, which is good. It goes straight from blue to magenta and then back again. So even though you see a gap, don't get too concerned about it. But that's what it is. When things change from magenta to blue, that's going to be your long signal. And when it changes back to magenta, that will be your short. Really simple as that. You can take the majority of complex or confusing indicators out there and break them down into their truest form if you know what you're looking for. And people who have been with this channel long enough know exactly what they need to be looking for. So is this a two lines cross? Yes, but it's also a color change. And when we take that other line out, that's pretty much what you're left with. So easy to read, that's good, but what would even be gooder is if the results matched up. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Before we do, understand, these tests could have been done at any time. Recently, we've been doing them pretty up to the week or up to the day. But that's not always the case, but it doesn't matter still. It matters how it performs in your system. Don't just take the best performing indicators on this channel and randomly plug them in. That's stupid. You're not going to get optimal results. You have to test these in real life and see which one is best for you. And maybe the indicator setup you have right now is what's best for you. But the only way to know that for sure is to test these in real time. Now, how do I test these, VP? Well, I got you hooked up, my friend. Down below, you're going to get my automation blog that has an embedded video showing you how to test these yourself on the MT4 strategy tester. You will also get a link to the blog, which is really important if you want to know the tweak settings that I don't show you here. If you're thinking, how did you get all the way to 30% ROI from an indicator that originally gave you minus 50% ROI? Well, we tweaked it, and you're not going to know those settings unless you go to the blog. So that's why that's there. Also, you're going to get a link to the YouTube channel if you want to see this thing move in real time. If you want to get a little more in-depth perspective on this, Dan makes a corresponding YouTube video for every indicator you see on this indicator profile series. So go there after you go here. You'll also get his second email address if you want to submit an indicator for possible review and possible showcasing on this channel. We've already done a few. We will certainly be doing more. And then, as always, a link to the indicator library where you can download this indicator and every single indicator we have done here on the indicator profile series. I think I've said indicator enough times. Let's go ahead and go into the results starting with the EURUSD. So really good results depending on what time frame you trade. This here is certainly decent. This would motivate me to test it further, for sure. If I can get close to an 8% ROI in one indicator on the EURUSD, I would be interested in doing that. But the real gold here is actually on the 4-hour. Ever since we have been doing this series, if I recall, you typically get the better ROI on the 1 year, on the daily time frame. We've seen a bit of a shift recently. It'll be interesting to see if that shift goes back or if it stays the same. I don't know. I think for many reasons, apart from what you see here, the daily chart is superior to the 4-hour. If you don't know the reasons why, you need to go back and watch some of my videos and old podcast episodes. But this is something interesting I've noticed over time. The 4-hour is really starting to have its moment in the sun. Now let's go to gold. Excellent. We have seen some of these recently that have given you really nice results. 31% with a healthy amount of trades. Even on the default, you're killing it. You know, we had to sacrifice a bit of win-loss ratio here, but we have a higher amount of trades and a higher ROI to get there, which is really nice. And then similar strength down here on the 4-hour. So I'm really liking this so far. Let's head down to the S&P. Again, depends on the time frame, doesn't it? This would be orgasmically good on the S&P on the 4-hour. To where on the 1 year, this is kind of ho-hum. I still might test it, but we've shown better examples out there, especially with the lower amount of trades, which for indices I would be okay with. But if you're in Germany and indices is all you trade, I don't know why I pick on Germany. It's just the stereotype that they love trading indices. Then maybe less trades would be better for you. But again, quite an anomaly, quite a difference between what you see on both timeframes. Let's go ahead and end it off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been kind of poopy lately. I don't think that has to do with the price action. Might have a little bit to do with it, but we have certainly seen much better explosive results on BTCUSD. And I thought it was interesting down here, like you barely get any trades. So could probably skip this one if you are a Bitcoin trader, but try it out on other pairs. See what happens. But for a basic sounding name, it actually performed pretty darn well. So we're happy to bring this one to you. We're happy to bring a lot of stuff to you on this channel. We have the Trading Psychology Podcast, the single most important thing we do every Monday. Indicator Profile Series every Wednesday, blog on Thursday, and the 10-Minute Contrarian Investing Podcast every Saturday. It's rough out there financially, traders. This channel is how you protect yourself and how you prosper through it. So subscribe, hit the bell, and let's go get it.